Welcome to my channel. Today we'll talk about how the Su-34 supersonic strike aircraft, crafted since 1983 by the esteemed Sukhoi Design Bureau, is not just another machine in the air, but a variant of the famed Su-27 flanker jet fighter. The Su-34 boasts significant enhancements designed specifically for accurate ground attacks. Therefore, despite its categorization as a ground attack aircraft, its precise attack capabilities, sleek external design, and aerodynamics align very closely with the classic Su-27 flanker. Only a slightly flattened nose section distinguishes the two, making the Su-34 equally skilled in air-to-air combat, and nearly on par with its Su-27 kin. The transformation in the Su-34's design philosophy compared to its predecessors emerged from heated debates within the Soviet defense circle in the early 80s. Some argued the need for the Soviet Union to produce new, more adaptable, and highly efficient multi-role fighter aircraft capable of excelling in both air-to-air combat and ground attack missions. The necessity for this shift arose as Soviet ground attack units began feeling the pressure from the newly inducted American F-15 and F-16 multi-role fighter aircraft. However, the majority continued to adhere to the time-honored doctrine of dividing fighter aircraft development into two main sectors: air superiority specialists like the MiG-29 and Su-27, and ground attack aircraft such as the Su-24, Su-17, MiG-23BM, and MiG-27. In the realm of contemporary fighter aircraft, they're generally divided into three main classes. Fighter aircraft. Armed with high speed and specialized anti-air weaponry, they're designed to intercept and engage enemy aircraft in the air and dominate the battlefield. Ground attack aircraft. These machines excel in precision strikes against ground targets, leveraging their speed and maneuverability to accurately deliver bombs and missiles. Bombers. These heavy aircraft are equipped with a high payload capacity and high altitude capabilities. They're instrumental in attacking large or strategically significant ground targets. However, their capacity to defend themselves against air-to-air threats is typically limited. Hence, they often operate with fighter escorts, especially when facing adversaries with substantial air defense or intercepting fighters. The Su-34, with its swift supersonic speed and versatile maneuverability, is primarily engaged in missions supporting ground forces, engaging units, and annihilating fortified positions. As the lines between ground attack and fighter aircraft blur with the evolution of modern multi-role fighter aircraft, new generation fighter machines like the F-15 Eagle and the Russian Su-35S are increasingly showcasing their capacity to tackle both air-to-air combat and precise ground attack missions efficiently. The rapid evolution of combat aircraft, historically split between ground attack and fighter aircraft, was being keenly observed by the Soviet Union. They recognized that this binary division would necessitate the production of a large fleet of aircraft, vast enough to cover their extensive territory. The implications of this development trend were manifold, from the underutilization of established aircraft designs to the challenges it would pose to logistics, maintenance, and training. Thus, embarking on the task to develop a new ground attack aircraft, Sukhoi's Design Bureau drew from their rich legacy of designing such aircraft, from the Su-7 to the Su-17-22 and Su-24. They made the daring decision to construct a new ground attack aircraft based on the Su-27 heavy fighter, a model that was not yet widely inducted into the Soviet military. The ambitious new aircraft, according to Sukhoi's engineers, would be a two-seater, fashioned after the Su-27UB training model. The cockpit would be considerably enlarged to accommodate ground attack missions. In a nod to the intense concentration and quick reflexes required for missions involving sudden dives and low altitudes for accurate ground attacks, a fully pressure-sealed cockpit was designed to allow pilots normal breathing conditions throughout the flight. The Su-34's cockpit would be so spacious that pilots could stand, move about, and even enjoy a cup of tea during long flights. This cockpit was further fortified with a robust 1.48-ton layer of titanium armor, ensuring protection from small-caliber gunfire and anti-aircraft shrapnel. The development of this groundbreaking aircraft saw several interruptions following the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991, and it was only in 1999 that Russia officially acknowledged the name Su-34. Even then, significant investment into its development only came about in 2005. The Su-34, measuring 23.34 meters in length, a wingspan of 14.7 meters, a height of 6.09 meters, and a maximum takeoff weight of roughly 44.3 tons, was a sight to behold. Despite its size, the Su-34 boasted a range of up to 4,500 kilometers, far exceeding that of a typical ground attack aircraft, and a maximum speed of Mach 1.8, giving it an edge in precision attacks on mobile targets on the battlefield, such as warships, armored tanks, and infantry groups. Its speed and range also posed a formidable challenge to enemy air defense systems, making the Su-34 a prime target. The Su-34's prowess in an array of precision ground attack missions, from annihilating key command and communication hubs to neutralizing armored forces and infantry units directly on the battlefield, remains unparalleled by any other fighter aircraft in the world today. This led to the Su-34S being selected as Russia's main strike force in their fight against rebel forces in the Middle East since 2015, where their precise strikes have proven particularly effective against insurgent groups nestled within civilian areas, enabling them to neutralize targets such as field commanders, communication facilities, and military vehicles, while keeping collateral damage to a minimum. Despite the indisputable striking power of the Su-34S, their limited electronic warfare capabilities make them more susceptible and less assertive than their multi-role counterparts, especially when pitted against sophisticated Western fighter aircraft like the F-15 Eagle, renowned for its precision in radar-based electronic warfare systems. In high-stake dogfights, the Su-34's lack of robust jamming and enemy tracking abilities renders it less nimble and more inactive, making it a considerable challenge when intercepted or engaged in combats. However, even under these circumstances, the Su-34 has a knack for using its mobility and the element of surprise to turn the tide, whether by launching close-range, infrared-guided R-73 Vimpel air-to-air missiles, or using its 30mm GSH-31 autocannon to engage foes. Plus, Su-34S can be armed with more than 10 air-to-air missiles, such as the R-77M1 with a range of 175 kilometers, adding to their anti-aircraft threat. But managing dogfights under unexpected conditions, where the Su-34 might be thrust into the reluctant fighter role, differs from being engineered for all-weather, all-condition combat, like air superiority fighters, especially when confronted with technologically advanced adversaries. Despite these realities, it is in ground attack missions where Su-34S truly shine. Their precision in engaging a broad array of ground targets, from taking out major command centers and communication facilities to crippling armored and infantry forces on the battlefield, makes them an unparalleled force. The successes of Su-34S in the Middle East merely scratch the surface of their potential, as advancements in Russian-Chinese defense cooperation and electronic warfare technology present opportunities for bolstering the might of this ground attack aircraft. Still, it's crucial to not judge the Su-34's prowess solely on the few instances it was shot down, especially considering the Ukraine context. Despite their extensive usage in bombing missions close to heavily defended targets, the few Su-34S losses hardly capture the full capability of this advanced combat aircraft. The future of Su-34's potential upgrades rests on international collaboration and advancements in electronic warfare technology, particularly Russia's relationship with China, a forerunner in this field. This association could be a game-changer, enabling Russia to surpass their limitations and further enhance the world's most formidable ground attack aircraft.